Hi guys, and welcome to part 3 of the PGR2 game night from the 17th of October. And in this episode we are in the Sports Coupe Series. And most of us are actually in the Asceni for this episode, as we had a lap challenge earlier on in the week to get the best lap we could round this track, and we were all sick to death of the track, so we thought it'd be funny to relive those memories and get back in the Asceni and try and get around this track with everyone in them, well, nearly everyone in them. There's a few in Porsches, but we actually start in second and manage to get ahead of most of the pack, and Jarek gets taken out there in second place, which leaves us with plenty of room going around the second corner pretty much after the chicane. And we had Sakis on our tail, and that was pretty much it for the entire race. And I think I might have dropped him only slightly. I think Sakis finished a couple seconds behind. And then we'll have a look at the leaderboard in a second. See what else happened. Yes, Sakis was a couple seconds behind. Jarek got third place. Henkau in the Porsche in fourth. Null in fifth, also in the Asceni. Meteor Smash in the 911 as well. And Nacho was in the Asceni. So not really much happened in that one, but this was a decent race in the TVR this time. And I think more people went into the TVR for this race in Barcelona for this one. So again, getting lucky with these starts, starting in first place this time. So able to get around here relatively unscathed. Getting bits of lag through this bit again, and then going on two wheels and completely smacking into the barrier. But looking at who's in second place, it's all looking a bit tight back there. I think Noel's just about come out there in second. A couple seconds behind already, due to the madness of the first few corners. Especially on a tight track like this, Barcelona's always a bit chaotic. But I'm getting some sort of lead around the first part of the track. Can't see anybody from behind. Noel's now a couple seconds behind. Actually taking that corner fairly well. Not too bad, getting used to the handling, and I completely just was daydreaming and missed the barrier completely, or missed where the barrier was. So didn't see that, smacked into it and across the line, going into fourth place now. So that was Jarek, Noel and Sakis all overtaking me. So having to make up the ground there to try and attempt an overtake. Noel in the TVR, Sakis in the TVR, and Jarek is in the Morgan. Lots of swapping of places going on here. Bits of skidding and all sorts. Jarek goes back into first place, Noel's just behind in second, I'm in third. We've pretty much got four abreast here going into this next corner. Sakis is able to cut on the inside with everybody else power sliding a bit. I think Noel loses control a little bit there. So Sakis in first place, Jarek second. I'm just behind now in third. And Noel looks like he's dropped a second behind there. And I'm completely misjudged that corner, going way too early this time, and then hit the outside of the barrier, slowing down massively, which gives Noel an opportunity to catch back up. Just 2 tenths behind now, going for the inside of the corner, but braking slightly earlier, backing out of that one. And Sakis is just pulling away from Jarek a little bit now. Going around these tight and twisty corners. I'm hitting the inside of the barrier there, and Jarek did the same thing I did. Looks like he hit the inside of the barrier, the front face of it, so completely stopped him dead there like it did for me on the other part of the track. But Sakis is quite far ahead now, so have to see if we can mount any sort of comeback at this point. On the third lap, he's nearly 3 seconds ahead, and Noel's actually overtaken Jarek as well, so he's just a couple seconds behind as we get onto the straight, coming up to the fourth lap. And my game freezes, so that's the end of this race for us. Unfortunately, it didn't get to the end of that one, but not sure how that would have played out. So we moved to Yokohama for the third race. Got Wally in the Cadillac, which actually just stood still there. Missed the start, but Sakis is in first place, so he gets a rare start near the front of the pack. And I think I started in third there, and Nacho was in third place now, currently. But it's going to be a case of trying to stick with Sakis and trying to overtake him at this point. Right on his tail for majority of the race so far. Nacho's a couple seconds behind already in third. and both of us were hitting the barrier in that earlier corner. I'm sticking that nicely to the inside and around here as well. Probably could have got a bit wider there. So we're staying the same distance apart now. I'm catching him on the straight due to the slipstream. Getting a little bit of a boost there. Nacho's now nearly 4 seconds behind. Sakis goes a little bit wide there, but gets a better exit, and I'm sliding slightly. But again, we're going about the same speed across the line for the second lap. Still 2 tenths behind, so looking for that manoeuvre to overtake. Both sliding around there again, having the same exit speed pretty much, so neck and neck at this point. Gaining a little bit of ground on him there, looking for the outside, but he shuts me off, so having to go around the inside here, get a nice corner there, but then do pin him against the wall, so I just wait for him there, and I was trying to let him pass me, but he wasn't having any of it. He understood what happened there, so he's just helped me on, letting me go into first place and continuing the battle. Coming around the chicane section bit here, getting fairly nice exit there, but Sakis now in the slipstreams, he's got the speed advantage. Only a tenth behind, right behind on the bumper there. Braking slightly here, but I don't think you really need to. As you see, Sakis broke a little bit too much there. And we find out in the next couple of laps that you don't actually need to do that. You can fly through that bit fairly quickly. So we just swap positions at this point. Now Sakis is chasing me and take that corner with a little bit too much speed, hitting the barrier. Allows Sakis just to get the better exit and overtake back into first place. So we've got all the work to do again. Back into his slipstream, taking that corner fairly well. Still 2 tenths behind and taking that corner fairly well, just about missing hitting the barrier. And maybe a little bit too conservative at that point, but still right on the tail. Taking that corner really well, so right up behind him now. Back in the slipstream. Seeing if we can make any sort of manoeuvre here. I'm going to have to back off here though, because there's no room to overtake on this section. And I brake there when I really didn't need to, and Sakis goes through there full speed, so he opens up quite a distance now. Just outside the slipstream, so that's probably going to be about a second behind, or 6 tenths there, nearly 7 tenths. So we've got all the work to do. And again, going too fast, 2 laps in a row, and he is now starting to pull away, and that is going to be how the story ends for this little battle. And I'm just winding it forward to the finish now to stay about that same distance apart, if not just dropping back a little bit more for silly mistakes like there, just hitting the barrier and going too wide on that section. So he's over a second ahead and hitting the barrier again there. Tried it full speed, it didn't quite work, so you need to ease off a little bit, but there we go. Take a second place there. Good little battle, that one, but just fell short, about 1.4 seconds behind. Noel seems to have moved up into third place, Jarek in fourth in the Morgan again, Nacho fifth, Henkau and Meteor in sixth and seventh in the Porsche, and Wally in the Cadillac there in last place. So moving on to, I believe this is the last race in Yokohama for the Sports Coupe. This is a fairly good one as well, lots of stuff going on here. Again, Wally's not in the any of the good unlocked cars, so I'm afraid he's at a disadvantage in the Lexus there. But Sakis in fifth place right ahead, and we've got 4 abreast there going into the first right-hander. And I think Henkau's getting completely spun the wrong way around there, and I'm bashing into the back of Sakis there, and I think I made him spin a little bit out there. And we get a little shunt from Meteor in 6th place behind us, so Sakis in 4th, and there's a group of 3 ahead. And it looks like Nacho's had a bit of a collision, and I hit Nacho and completely fly into the barrier. Completely veered me off to the right, that did, unfortunately, but we've got a little group in front now we can try and catch. And it looks like Sakis has flown past all of them because there's crashes going on everywhere. So we've got Meteor in the Porsche 911 in front. I think Noel's in the position in front of that, and then Meteor was on one side of me, then just teleported to the other side and forced me into the barrier, so that made absolutely no sense, which I'm afraid happens sometimes with the lag. We had quite a bit of lag this session, but going around this same section as the previous race, taking that a little bit better, and the same first corner, and he seems to be stuck to the side of me there, and it seemed to be matching my speed, which was also quite weird because it looked like I should have been flying past there with that corner. So again, I think that was down to lag. But moving up into 5th place, we've got 2 cars in front. Looks like it's Noel and Nacho, but Meteor goes for the move on the inside, pushes me way wide. So he retakes that 5th place, but I've got the better speed with the TVR, so I'm able to take that again on the straight section. A couple seconds behind Noel now in 4th. Not having a good run in this race so far. But finally getting this corner right. Well, I say finally, it's only the 2nd time, but much better than the 1st time at least. And it looks like, is it Noel and Nacho there having a little fight in 3rd and 4th. I'm taking that fairly well, so getting a lot of ground up on them around this corner. Just easing off, getting behind Noel for this corner. And I brake a little bit later than Noel, so able to take that corner fairly well. And Nacho does a little bit of a power slide around there, so we're able to move up into 3rd place. And Sakis is 7 seconds ahead, so I didn't actually see, but I think Jarek might have been in 1st place at that point. So from this point, nothing else happens, and the two stay two in 1st and 2nd stay the same distance ahead pretty much. I think it's about 7 seconds for the next couple laps. The Sakis just takes a win, a 10th ahead of Jarek there, who switched to the TVR. So I got 3rd place there, 7 seconds behind. Noel gets 4th, Nietzsche 5th, Nacho 6th. And that is going to be it, guys, for the Sports Coupe. Not too much action. There was a couple good races in there, but a lot of it was fairly uneventful. But for the next episode, we've got the American Muscle Series, and this is the best episode of the lot. There's a load of stuff happening in these next few races, so look forward to those. So I'll see you in that part.